Welcome to the pod in conversation with education coordinators with myself, Gradys Nyka, and my colleague, Razia Sultana. I'll just hop into the first question. Okay, how long have you been at PD?
I started in November, I think 2020. So it's coming up to 4 years now, and yeah, it's been great. How about you, Gradys?
I've been at PD for, I think, a year and 8 months, or almost 2 years. But honestly, the time flies so quickly, so it's even weird me saying I've almost been here for 2 years.
I know, it feels like we've had you forever.
I know, exactly. And what did you do before Psychology Direct, the previous role?
So I was working as an attendance officer at a school, and that was based up north where I'm originally from. And then when I moved to Surrey, I was out of work for nearly a year. And then obviously COVID happened, and I thought I'd be out of work for much longer. And actually, it was my husband who came across the education coordinator role, which he gave me the confidence to apply. And here we are now. What about you?
I was actually working for a language and interpreting company. So I would work a lot with interpreters and arrange interpreting services. For example, if a patient had a hospital appointment and they were unable to speak English, or English wasn't their first language, I would arrange appointments with interpreters to be with that patient during their appointment, basically. So yeah, quite different to PD, but it's still sort of the same thing.
Do you feel like the skills that you got from there is adapted in your role with the education coordinator?
Oh yeah, 100%, because the majority of the things was more kind of admin, but still you had the chance to speak to different people and arrange appointments. That skill is quite adaptable to PD right now with the role that I do, because I have that sense of experience to speak to people, arrange appointments, etc.
Definitely, that does sound a lot like it. And I was just going to say, with us both being education coordinators, your day might look different to my day. What does your day look like as an education coordinator? What's your role?
Oh, I feel like it's quite a lot of things. But the main thing is the booking in assessments for children and young people in support of their EHCPs with educational psychologists. So on a day-to-day basis, I speak with schools and parents trying to arrange these assessments. And because we work with local authorities, there is a lot of admin work that comes with that. And also just dealing with lots of inquiries, whether it's to do with the assessment or reports that have been written for the child or young person. So generally just on a day-to-day speaking with lots of parents, lots of schools, doing reports, answering queries, all that good stuff.
Well, I feel like your day isn't that different to mine then. I feel like we have that consistent network of local authorities and, our parents that we work with and schools. It's a challenge, I'd say. Every day is a challenge, and this is what makes it exciting. I feel like our role is always different. Talking about challenges, obviously with our role, we have so much that we do. What do you feel like has been your biggest challenge in the role so far?
Oh, I would say the main challenge for me is the pressure of trying to book in assessment that may have had cancellation and it is due to take place for the next day. That's always challenging because you're working against time, and because of the assessments being the next day, for example, not every parent or school will find that convenient because they also need to make arrangements in order for them to be present. So I feel like that's always a challenge because there's just so much pressure in trying to make sure that you've arranged everything on time. You've sent all the information to the ed psych. It's just a lot of pressure trying to work around that, especially with cancellations happening all the time. I feel like for me, that would be my main challenge in my role so far. And what about yourself?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think just bouncing off you there, I think it's definitely the multiple juggling that we have to do. It's not quite as it says it on paper. It is a lot to do and a lot more juggling and kind of prioritizing. I have to say, especially when one of our team members are on leave, obviously we want the best for our clients, and it's always important to make ourselves readily available. We could be looking after a couple of local authorities, and I hope, anyone who's hearing this know that we are always readily available. But yeah, that's the challenge. And I feel like we do a good job there.
No, definitely. I definitely agree.
Obviously, we're talking about Psychology Direct. It would be lovely to know what you feel like the culture is like at Psychology Direct. What is your take on that?
The culture at Psychology Direct, I feel like the main thing for me is it's just a very warm place to work. And there's that sense of belongingness and inclusivity. And I would say that there's a strong sense of team and teamwork. And we all sort of encourage each other to share ideas and work together to support one another. So overall, I would say it's a place where people genuinely enjoy coming to work, and it literally feels like I'm part of a family when I'm at work. I feel like I've known everyone for a long time, so I'd definitely say the culture for me is a very warm place to work, basically. What about yourself?
I agree. I think with the workplace and the culture at Psychology Direct, I feel like there's a great balance between like fun and professionalism. I feel we have a lot of banter going on, but at the same time I feel like we do take our work seriously and give 100% to whatever we do. And it's definitely super diverse. Everyone's background, culture and beliefs are respected and definitely appreciated. I think that's one of the things that makes us such, like a close-knit team. How we're all genuinely interested in learning from each other. Even though we have a good time, there's a real sense of purpose and commitment to the company's future, and everyone is all in. So that's how I feel like the culture here is at Psychology Direct. It kind of like bounces on our values for Psychology Direct, because one of the values is to show empathy and respect for all and everything, and that definitely is really reflected.
Definitely. So what would you say then, what's your favourite thing about PD?
It's a difficult one because I don't just have one thing I like about Psychology Direct. But when I was applying for this job, one thing stuck out to me was this job is aimed as like admin with a purpose. So I feel like it's more of a rewarding job, which I can definitely see now whilst I'm in the role. And that's one of my favourite things working here. I can do my job, but at the same time, I know in the end it will be rewarding and I'm making a difference to a person's life, helping them work towards their goal. So that's one of the things that I love about Psychology Direct, that I'm working in such a area. But obviously with it being diverse, as I explained earlier, with our work ethics, it's rewarding and refreshing. That's probably a few of my favourite things. What about yourself?
Definitely agree with what you said in terms of rewarding. I feel like that's my main thing, because I love helping people. So this is probably the best thing that I do in terms of my role. I know that, I'm helping someone. So I feel like that's the part that I love about PD. But I also would say my team. I'm like the team, but my team, just a shout out to the ed team, but everyone else as well, because I feel it's quite rare to feel very close-knit with your team, especially with us working remotely. I find that we're all very close, and if one person has a problem, it's everyone's problem and we're all trying to find a solution. So I feel like that sense of teamwork and team for me stands out of being my favourite thing about PD, because it's just a nice feeling when you're working, you don't feel alone, I
agree 100%. I think it's important to highlight that even though we are doing our job and we're doing so many things at once, we also have the team in the background. And to be fair, I feel like we wouldn't be able to do this job without everyone involved. And it's definitely the team, and 100% super grateful for it.
Amazing. Should we end with the quick fire questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll jump right into it then. What's your favourite season, would you say?
My favourite, it's a difficult one. I love the cozy season, but I also love like summer. But then if I had to choose, it would definitely be cozy season. So it'd be like autumn and winter. And plus it's Harry Potter season, so I love it. What about yourself?
I feel like I'm in a similar boat to you, but I was also stuck trying to figure out autumn, spring, summer, because I feel like those are the three main ones for me. But I would have to go with spring, only because with spring, that summer is almost around the corner and it gives you something to look forward to. And I'm also thinking about daylight savings. As much as I love autumn and I love when the trees change colour and the leaves fall and it's nice and cozy, I just really don't like the fact that when it hits 5:30 or 5 o'clock, it already feels dark. And I feel like the half of my day is gone. So I feel like with summer and spring, coming into summer, you have longer to enjoy your day.
That makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like when it comes to autumn and winter, I don't have to think much about the fashion. I just have to put on a coat and a pair of boots and I'm good to go.
It's like hiding season. You don't need to try and be fashionable.
I think in the summer, I definitely have to, buy a whole new wardrobe and start again.
So just jumping in the topic of school, there's a question here. And what was your favourite subject in school?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. People might be like, what on earth? But for me, it was English. I did enjoy English and I actually went on to do a degree for English language. So as you can see, it clearly rubbed off from me. But no, it was English. I think it was mainly because, how creative I could get with it.
Yeah.
And I see that myself as a person. I'm quite creative. What about yourself?
I feel like everyone knows this about me. I'm a very creative person. So you've probably guessed it. Art was my favourite lesson. Yeah. Only because I love being creative. I love painting. I love drawing. And I don't know, I can't explain it. Whenever I'm painting, it's just very peaceful. It helps me to relax. So art was just one of those lessons that I was just looking forward to coming into because I'm like, you don't need to try so hard. It's just very much free-flowing. And I just enjoyed it in general because, I just love anything creative.
That is 100% what I thought you'd say. Your art is amazing, Gladys. Keep on doing it.
Thank you.
What is your favourite thing about yourself?
Wow, this is not a question I think about often. I mean, I would say that I love how compassionate I am, or, how compassionate I am in everything that I do. So if I do something, I'll do it with love and care and take my time. So I feel like that's probably one of the things that I love about myself. I've not really thought much about this question, but what about yourself?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those questions where I don't want to sound too big-headed or, it may look like I don't love myself. It's a bit of a difficult one.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about certain traits, I'd say I am quite empathetic. So I feel like I choose empathy and I like to see that side of things or kind of touch on people's feelings or behaviours. And I feel like I can see that side quite quickly. Whereas for some people, it might take them quite long.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do reflect on feelings more. So you can come to me if you have an issue. I'll be happy to speak about it.
Oh, love that. If you could name your own planet, what would it be called?
Oh my goodness, yes. Honestly, when you think about the planets, they're already strangely named. But do you know what? I was actually thinking about it. And if I could name a planet, it would be my planet because I named it. So what could it be? So I thought, hey, how about if it was Razia spelled backwards? So it'd be like Azar.
Oh my days, I love that.
So it's Azar,
Yeah. That is actually a cool name. That is a very cool name for a planet.
What about yourself?
I would probably name it something funny. So something like, I don't know, smiley face, like planet smiley face, or something like Giggleton. Which sounds strange, me saying this out loud, but I feel like the main reason would be because it would be like a planet where you're just constantly laughing or something's funny.
Yeah.
And to be fair, laughing is probably my favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
So I would probably name it that.
That's great. That's amazing. I think we need a lot more fun in the world.
Exactly.
Why not? What would be the meanest animal if they could talk?
This is quite funny, actually, because I was thinking a chicken. The only reason why is because chickens, they look peaceful and stuff, but when they're walking and the movement that they make with the neck, I don't know, that just seems like so, I don't know, if they were to talk, I would just imagine that they would talk rudely. I don't know, I just wouldn't want to talk to a chicken.
No, that makes sense. I think ask those who own chicken. It's not easy to raise a chicken, but I think that you're onto something there. I think I would say, thinking about two actually. So at first I was like a hyena. They could be quite ruthless in their own ways. And then it could be like a poodle, like a dog, basically a poodle, who can be quite mean to the other dogs. And, they're all high and mighty and you're just, what are you?
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're out of questions.
Hopefully that has opened up to a couple of things that Psychology Direct looks like behind the scenes. We are obviously very light-hearted and empathetic. Yeah, go Team Psychology Direct.
Thank you.